Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Dare to Soar. It is such a pleasure to kind of hang out with you. I know it's late. It's about 9:30 on Wednesday. So I hope that you can join me. And sorry for the late hour. I'm just getting it in. What I will do is share this to my personal page. Well, I'm going to try to share to my personal page, and I hope you can join me this evening. If not, hope that you can have a chance to listen to the replay. Let me share this to my page. And share this to my other page. There we go. Okay. Well, what I wanted to do is to touch base with everyone. Hey, John, how are you? I am so glad that you're here. Well, a couple of days ago, I talked about the importance of our goals and really analyzing if you were successful with your goals for the first quarter, what were those factors that contributed to your success? But also, I encourage all of us, like I have been doing myself, to look at the goals that were missed, those milestones that were missed, and really analyze what were the impediments and what prevented you from being able to accomplish your goals, your dreams. Because I believe that for all of us to take our vision and make that vision a victory requires some work. And so I wanted to stop by and to see if you were stuck like I was. I was honest to say I missed some significant goals for first quarter. And to ask you if you are optimizing or evaluating 6 very important areas to take your life from mediocrity to mastery. So I wanted to see if you have a pen or a pencil to take down some notes and think about how can you look at these areas differently so that you cannot be safe or secure, but so that you can soar. So the first area of the 6 steps, I want us to ask ourselves, do we have the skills we need to be successful? Because you can't do a new thing with old skills. You can't go to a new height with some old data, some old wisdom, some old insight. So as we are looking at our goals, and I don't care if it's a financial goal, a professional goal, a relationship goal, a weight goal, do we have the skills that we need to be successful? Do we have the data we need? Do we have the wisdom do we need? Do we have the information that we need? Do we have the counsel that we need? Do you have the skills you need to perform and to produce and to participate at a level greater than you're doing now so you can be successful? So the first thing I want you to really take a look at and look at critically and honestly, do you know what you need to know to go to the next level? Remember, every new level requires us to up-level and upgrade and up-regulate our skills. And if you don't have the skills and the knowledge and the data, the information, whatever you need to go to the next level, the challenge is, or the question to ask yourself is, what do I need to learn to go to the next level? What do I need to do to go to the next level? What do I need to expose myself to go to the next level? Because again, you can't do a new thing with old data. The second thing I want you to look at versus the skill, the second thing I want you to think and consider is, do you have the right support? Yes, all of us are stars, right? But even a star needs a supporting cast. So the question I posed to you, and I also had to pose to myself, do I have the right people in place to help me get to the next level? I don't care if it's a professional level, personal level, financial level. And all the people we are asking to support us, can they provide help to help you be better, do better, say better? Hope, can they inspire you and motivate you and embolden you? And healing, can they help you address those broken places or those places in your life where you feel less secure, less competent, and less able? So I want you to think about your supporting cast. Do you have a personal board of directors a personal dream team? Are you gathering with the gifted to make sure you have the necessary help, healing, and hope to go to the next level? It's interesting, even though I have the skills to be a personal trainer and to train myself, I recognized after I missed my goals for the first quarter that I needed some help, and I hired a trainer. Even though I feel comfortable and competent in my training ability, I recognize that I needed some new skills because I'm older now, and I also needed some support, and I had to get the support that I needed to be successful. So skills, support. The third thing is, are you in the right setting? It is so important that we are always evaluating, are we in the right place for ourselves to shine, to be optimized, and to maximize our gifts and talents. Nothing can really derail you if you find or if you realize that you're in the wrong setting. And the setting might be, you need a quiet setting. Maybe you like to work with people. Maybe you need to work alone. Whatever that setting is, the question is, are you in a setting that ignites you and excites you, or do you find yourself in a setting that makes you fight, flight, freeze, or appease? Again, fight, flight, freeze, or appease. When we are going after our goals, when we are trying to transition from a vision to victory, or from a dream to a destiny, if we are in an environment that's not conducive to our success, we won't be successful. If we are in an environment where we have to fight with people or fight with ourselves because we don't want to be there, if we're in an environment where we have to flight, when as soon as we go there, we wish we can leave, right? Because we feel invisible, or we feel inaudible, or we feel threatened or intimidated. If you're in a situation where you feel like you have to freeze and just shut down or shut off, or if you're in a situation where you feel like you have to kiss up, appease, you're not going to be successful. Those are environments or cultures that are not conducive to your success. So I want to challenge you and ask yourself, are you, to the best of your ability, in surroundings or settings where you can activate and excite and ignite your gifts and talents and your abilities? That's going to be really important. For me, for example, I'm very introverted. I know it doesn't seem like it, but I'm very introverted. And I do my best work when I can pull away from people, think and reflect and strategize and write. So when I find myself, for example, in a group activity for too long, I start to check out because it feels overwhelming, because I'm really a hermit at heart. So we want to think about, are we in a setting to help us optimize and maximize our gifts, our activities, so you can move from, a dream to making it a destiny. We don't want to just to have faith. We want to have fulfillment. And we can only do that when we are in the right setting. So fourth place I want you to really consider is that, do you have the proper structure? And remember, success always requires structure. A structure could be a budget. A structure can be a relationship rules, when you and your partner have rules about how you're going to define and to do your relationship. You might have a structure about how you're going to work out, how you're going to eat, how you're going to manage your family. Success never happens without structure. And structure does a couple of things. When we have structure, when we are building our success, or when we are trying to build our momentum. Hey, Lucky, thanks for being here. When we are trying to build, you only build with structure. I don't care if it's an organizational chart. You need a structure. What a structure does is to provide a foundation for success. And when you have a foundation for success, you can flow better. Everybody wants to flow, get into their rhythm. And when you get into your rhythm or your flow, that's when you can flourish. So again, when we talk about structure, you need a structure. The structure provides a foundation for your success. When you have a foundation, you have form to your life, form to your agenda, form to your day, form to your relationship, because you don't want to have a relationship where there's a lot of undefined ways to interact. You want to be on the same page. So when you have foundation, when you have form, that's when you get in your flow and get into your rhythm. right? And when you get into your rhythm, that's when you flourish. We flourish when we are in our zone, our genius zone. We flourish when we're in a rhythm. So we have to ask ourselves, do we have the structure that we need to be successful? Structure, 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 and that's really, really important. You can't willy-nilly. You can't just wing it and be successful. For example, if you're on a diet, you just can't wing it and think you're going to have a six-pack. You can't wing it and do whatever you want to do in a relationship and have intimacy and trust. You can't wing it and do what you want to do and be financially secure or diversify your portfolio. You just can't wing it. You have to have a structure. And the fifth thing you need to have is a system. A system is a consistent way of doing something. It's kind of like a habit or your patterns. Hey, Lucky and Angela. And we got to think about that because I love what John Maxwell says. I repeat it all the time. He's one of the leading authorities in leadership. He always talks about that we have uphill hopes but downhill habits. Our downhill habits is our systems, our unconscious systems that we do. So we have to ask ourselves, do we have any habits and patterns that prevent us from being successful? Do we have any things that we do consistently? Do we engage in any activities or events that really are impediments, are detriments for us elevating? We have to think about it and be honest, because sometimes we are the ones that sabotage our own success because we keep doing things. For example, me, I keep eating Twinkies. SharRon, why are you eating Twinkies? You worked out, why do you eat Twinkies, right? So I realized that I was the one getting in my own way. So I want us to think about, honestly, are we more committed to a system of self-sabotage versus a system of success? Are we more committed to a system that lowers us, or are we more committed to a system that leverages us? Are we more committed to a system of pathology than a system of power? Are we more committed? And all we have to do is look at where we spend our time, talent, and our treasure, and that will let us know what we're more committed to. Because how we spend our time, talent, and our treasure is an indication of our value system. So we want to think about, where are we spending our time? Always remember this. Discipline is what produces deliverance. Discipline. I don't care if you want to be delivered from drugs, alcohol, craziness, foolishness, stupid people, whatever it is, you need discipline. You have to do something consistently and be tenacious and do it in season and out of season. And that's how we are successful. The sixth thing before I leave is spiritual practice. Spiritual practice. I'm trying to talk about religiosity. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about a spiritual practice that grounds you. Why? Because goals are hard. Trying to change your behavior or change your neurology, trying to change your neural system, trying to change your patterns, your narratives, your stories are hard work. And so to do that, you need to have some spiritual practice, because sometimes you have to tap in power that's beyond you. Sometimes you have to tap in power that's beyond the power that you have by yourself. And we tap into that power, or we interact with that power when we tap into our tenacity, when we tap into our intuition, when we tap into our discernment. Those are powers. When we are tapping into the power of forgiveness, because sometimes we're blocked because we're pissed off, and if you are in a place of unforgiveness, you can't move forward. If you are mad at someone, right? Because anger takes our energy, and so we have to ask ourselves, do you want to be angry or do you want to advance? And sometimes if you have to give up the past so you can start reaching for a better future. And so do you have permission to share some of this? Please, Angela, share. And if anybody wants to share the Facebook Live, please share. I'll be more than happy to do it, and I'm even honored that you wanted to ask, Angela. Thank you so much for that. Yes, we have to tap into that power. We need a spiritual practice that grounds us. A spiritual practice gives us grit to us to continue to move forward. Our spiritual practice helps us tap into our genius areas in our lives, because we have intelligence that we don't even tap into until we are under attack, or until our back is against the wall, right? So we need to be able to tap into that spiritual grounding, the spiritual connection, so that we can have access to our higher selves. Because our higher selves has the inner knowledge that we don't have. And so if we are moving into our goals, I want to challenge you, as I challenge myself, for second quarter to be more successful. The question you have to ask yourself, one, skills. Do you have the skills to move forward? Because whatever the skills that got you to your present level, you need to up-level your skills if you want to up-level your life. You need to upgrade your skills if you want to upgrade your life. You need to up-regulate your performance if you want to up-regulate your productivity or your profitability. You want to go up, you got to go up. That means we have to increase our skills level. You can't do something new with old ideas. You need fresh ideas. You need a fresh anointing. You need a fresh understanding. You need fresh exposure. You need something that will stimulate your curiosity. You need something that will help you wonder, because when you wonder, you can move from a whisper to a wow, and that's what you want to do. Up-level your skills. 2, you want to up-level your support. Yes, you need a supporting cast. You are a star, but every star needs a supporting cast. You need your personal board of directors. You need your own dream team, and you have to be able to change the members of your team out based on the stage you are in your life. Remember, you need to gather with the gifted. You want to dine with the determined. You don't want to lunch with losers. You want to hang out with the hungry, people who are hungry for next level stuff, and whatever that next level is, because we all define next level differently. So that skills is support. 3rd, setting. Are you in a situation, or in an environment, or in a culture, or in a surrounding, or in circumstances that excite you, ignite you, and put you on fire, and fuel that inner passion? Or are you in a situation where you fight, flight, freeze, and appease? Fight, flight, freeze, and appease. Those situations are not the situations that are conducive to you being all that you need to be. 4, do you have the structure? Remember, structure provides the foundation so that you can flow and flourish. You cannot flourish without structure. You can't willy-nilly. You got to have some structure, a budget, a calendar, agenda, rules, accountability, a workout plan, something. You just can't willy-nilly. If you don't plan for success, we always hear you plan for failure. So you need a strategy. And your strategy has to have little steps, because big steps overwhelm us. And when we feel overwhelmed, we underperform. Again, we need a system. What can you do consistently, habitually, to be successful? And then you need to be spiritually grounded, because we can never do our best work by ourselves. You need intuition and discernment and tenacity. You need grit and genius and God. You need all those types of things. And that's really important. SharRon, what's number 3? Yes, skills, support. 3rd was setting. 4th, structure. 5th was systems. And 6th was the spiritual practice. Evaluating your goals for second quarter. Do you have the structure? Absolutely. We got to look at our goals, because if not, come August, let's see, April, May, June, sorry, come July, we're going to be having the same conversation. Like, I was really honest and said, I missed my goals for first quarter. I missed my revenue goals, my health goals, and my eating goals. 3 significant goals. So guess what? I felt kind of like a failure. But I said, SharRon, you can feel like a failure, or you can shift. And because feeling like a failure and beating yourself up is not going to make you optimize or maximize yourself. So what I had to do is sit back and say, okay, what can you push off your plate? And I have pushed everything off my plate. And I'm only going to focus on 3 or 4 things. One is my health, because again, I'm back at the doctor tomorrow and the cardiologist on Friday. That's not good. I can't get sick. 2, I'm going to focus on my book coming out in July. And 3, my coaching programs, because my son is grown. That's it. Every other relationship is going to be 5th, 6th, and 7th. Now, somebody might say that's mad, but I don't care. I have raised, help with my sister. I've raised 3 step kids and my son. That's 5 people. I'm done. and now my sister is so successful. Now she needs to raise me. So those are my goals, and so I'm taking everything off my plate. I'm not worried about anything else, and I'm okay with that. So because I missed my goals. So if we're going to move forward, I want everybody to reassess, reevaluate, and then after you reevaluate, then I want you to become re-energized, and I want you to come revived, and I want you to come restored, and whatever you need to do to reignite yourself to be better. So it's got to shift, and I love you. Sometimes we have to back up and punt, absolutely, and sometimes we have to. Sometimes you have to go back to move forward. Sometimes you have to slow down to go faster. And I know that here's another cliche that I believe in so strongly. Sometimes you add by subtracting. And so I think we all need to subtract some things off of our plate, and subtract some people outside of our plate. And if people are not going to be part of your supporting cast, well, we need to do some adjustments. Because after you start getting on some type of trajectory, after you get on your flow, after you get in your rhythm, after you start experiencing success, then you can start adding things back in your life one little by one little, right? But then if you realize that it's starting to affect your peace, your productivity, your performance, your time with God, then you take it back out. We have to start with the bare minimum and then see what we can add. And if we realize that we can't add anything, then we need to do some reassessing, because we need to make sure that we concentrate on the essentials. Execute the essentials and move over the minutia. I'm going to say that again. Execute the essentials and move over the minutia and the mundane, because if not, you'll never rise to mastery. We will be stuck in misery and stuck in mediocrity, and none of us are interested in that, right? So I want to encourage you to reassess. I will also want to invite you to attend the Dare to Be Me. It's 4 weeks. It's 50% off. I would love for you to join me. Some people have signed up. It's small, but we look at our lives and we get into strategy, because I believe so often we hear but we don't do. So how can we move from idea to implementation? We need a pattern, we need a system, and we need accountability, right? None of us becomes our best selves by ourselves. We need someone to say, look, you said this, so why aren't you doing this? So I want to encourage all of you to join me. I would love to have you there. Again, I just think it's time for us to invest in ourselves, because we don't want to have the same conversation third quarter, fourth quarter, or 2019, and we're still talking about these same goals. Because I don't know about you, I'm tired of losing these same 15, 20 pounds. I have lost these same 20 pounds about 30 times. I done lost 600 pounds with these same 20 pounds. And it's not that I'm fat, but however, I identify myself as an athlete, and how we identify ourselves determines how we show up. And since I'm an athlete, I want to show up as an athlete. I don't care if I'm 50 plus, I'm going to show up as a 50 plus athlete, because that's how I see myself. So however you see yourself is how you define yourself, and that's what I want to walk into. So thank you so much for putting that. I hope that you will join me. Hey, Regina, so glad to see you there. And then after we finish with Dare to Be Me, let's go to Jacksonville and join Regina for the Purpose Retreat, because the only way to live in your purpose is to know your purpose, and it's nothing like fulfillment. Purpose comes from, it's an indication, our grounds us in fulfillment. So let's talk about that. And then also, for some of you can join me in May, we will be at the, oh God, I can't think of the name, the Black Leadership Woman Executive. I jacked that up totally, but it's in May, the second week of May, in Atlanta with Felicia Davis, and I hope you can join us. So hopefully you can join me in the Dare to Be Me. And if you do that, I will help kind of work out, maybe I might even sponsor some person or two to come to the program, the leadership program in May with me, or sponsor a person to come to with Regina and Jacksonville. But so let's sign up with the Dare to Be Me, and let's kind of support each other so we can be our best selves. Yeah.